I'm giving a shout out to DJ Astonish. This is Miss Tenn, by way of Memphis, Tennessee, all the way out in the UK. I appreciate you, and I will holler at you another time.
B-A-double-G, I get big bags. B-A-double-G, I got big bags. B-A-double-G, I get big bags.
Miss Tenn, do not see this as an interview. Yeah, this is you getting to know DJ Astonish and DJ Astonish getting to know Miss Tenn. That's how I vibe.
Okay, that's
so,
it.
Yeah, so there's no pressure. Tell me, since you've been in the music game, have you done many interviews, by the way? Just curiosity. Have you done, is this still new?
I've probably done a handful. You know what? I've probably done a handful of interviews in the music game since I've been chasing this. But before music, I was an athlete. So I have done a shit ton of interviews as an athlete. And that's another reason why I end up changing my name. Because I don't know if you know, but I recently just went through like a whole little rebranding thing where I changed my name, which my original name was Jazz Brielle, which is my actual name.
Okay.
But I felt like I needed to do two things, and that was one, get people away from associating Jazz Brielle with the basketball player, because I did that for so long. And then also I feel like Miss Tenn actually kind of, it represents, it gets me in a nutshell of the singer, the rapper, the tomboy, the sexiness. You know, I feel like I balanced that.
Tell me, what's it like being a female rapper coming from where you come from? Because we've not really seen any really big names blow up females from where you're about. So, what's it like in terms of like looking up to like role models and that, to thinking, yo, I can do this?
Well, I feel like Memphis has a load of talent from young to old to the legendary. When you're talking about the entire 3-6 Mafia crew, it's just, I do feel a sense of the bar is already high. So the expectations for anybody coming and actually breaking through that barrier, because there are some other, female artists out of Memphis. Juicy Fruit is one of them. She's doing really, really big things. She's putting on a lot for Memphis. But like you said, as far as one big rap artist that's really like mainstream A-list, it hasn't been yet. K. Michelle is like the closest thing that we kind of got to a Memphis breakout star. But she's kind of been a lane of her own. And I really feel like I'm in a lane of my own because I don't just rap and then I don't just sing. And when people say sing, I feel like they're talking more about like the rap melody, kind of like just hold a little tune. But I grew up in the church, so I sang. Wow. So there's a difference. That's why I feel like I'm in like my own little lane. And I can't wait to be that star or that artist that comes out of Memphis that is like me, because I don't really feel like looking around, there's no artist like me there.
No, I feel you. Well, you know what, like I say, I support new talent and I support people with an individuality. So for me touching down on you, there's definitely not a you, because I hear something that is, I hear the market. Don't get me wrong, there's a market for you, but I see that individual star quality, which is the it factor. Do you know what I'm saying? So tell me, you was originally an athlete then. So how does this transformation from being an athlete now to say, I'm going to take this music game and take it serious? How does that transition come into your life?
It was different. Because I had been an athlete for so long, it had become second nature to me. Anything that dealt with sports, I could do and easily, and I caught on quick. Music was something that always just came naturally to me. I was a talented singer. I used to write poetry and stuff a lot, so I was always allowing my creative juices to flow. But when I actually started really pursuing it, the difference is in what I learned, the difference in sports and music is that I had so much repetition in sports that it was second nature. Like I said, music, I had to put in and still have to put in so much time for it to be something that's second nature to me. And that's all aspects of it, from the studio down to interviews, down to performance. Like, it just needs to be second nature. So that's what I keep telling myself, because I used to wonder, like, why did I could play in front of thousands of people and never got nervous. But it's because I had also put in thousands of hours into the gym to be able to feel that way. So I feel like that translates over to music. If you put in those thousands of hours into your craft, it's second nature. You don't even think about it. So that's where I'm at with music right now.
Okay. Well, it kind of comes into, where your sexiness comes from. because I was looking up. Oh, this girl, she's she's got the package. Some stars they have the voice and all the rest of it, but like you got the shebang. So hence with
let them know.
You know what I mean? So you've done the work. You've invested in this beautiful shell. And now here we are, we're going to take this church voice to the next level. So tell me, in terms of rapping and singing then, so obviously there's no doubt you're an artist. We're not going to label you as a female rapper. We're going to see a lot more diverse with you. So obviously you got the latest joint out, which is absolutely bop. Are we seeing a music video to that?
Yes. I shot the music video. It's ready. I just want to release it the right way. I think that most things, and some things you could just release like, hey, I'm gonna get this, no plan to it, I'm just gonna put it out there. But I've done that a few times, and this go around I kind of want to have a legit like marketing plan for them, because the videos, to be honest, they're banging videos. Like you said, the songs are banging. Big Bags is my most recent one, but Freaky came out a month before Big Bags, and those videos were actually shot literally back to back. Wow. So I think that's how I'm gonna release those. Because it's closing out the end of the year, I'm thinking maybe release it top of the year type thing. So that's what I'm kind of looking for. That's probably gonna be my next thing, is releasing those videos. Okay.
Well, DJ Astonish has got you out here in the meantime till these videos pop. So you're out here in the UK. I'm spinning you on my show, and it's killing it. It must be kind of mad, just dropping some music out, and now here you are becoming, because you're becoming international now. Let's just face it. What I'm saying though, you're hitting the seas, so you are now an international artist. Realistically, nobody can take that away from you. It's kind of mad when you say it like that, but it's true.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? So here you are.
You got to make me change my bio to international star. Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, own this now. And I just love fresh talent, and I can see the fresh talent with you. Like there's no doubt about it. Hence why I wanted to talk to you. I want to know what's this, more to this female artist. So is this the career now? Are we saying goodbye to the athlete world?
Yeah. You know what? I can't close that door indefinitely. Right now, yes, because right after I stopped playing, I was also coaching. I coached Division I basketball too. I coached in high school. I did personal training. I love the body. Like you said, I invested in this shell. It's because I spent so much time in my life playing sports that being in shape was all I knew. So, and that's another way for me to connect with people. And so I don't ever want to completely shut that door, because that's another way for me to connect, reach people, heal people, teach people. But I'm definitely putting more of my focus into music right now, because I've already put a lot of my time and focus into the health and wellness world. But like I said, everybody, you're always going to need that. It don't matter how young or old you are, we're always going to need that. So, but I'm definitely focusing a lot more on my music these days. It's definitely up here, priority.
So what does music mean to you?
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah. Okay, you asked me a question. You asked me a question. Well, I'm a part of coalition DJs out in America. And that's how I've recently joined the coalitions. And my job now with the coalitions is help plug these artists out here in the UK. And I stumbled across you through the coalition somehow. I heard just your track. I think it's KT from Coalitions Tennessee who shared it. And I heard your joint, and I was just like, wow, I am messing with this straight away. It's been on my show every week since out here in the UK, but honestly, and I was just like, yo, this is popping. This is fresh joint. It's a hit. It's a classic. I'm messing with it. It's a vibe. And that's how I found you. And I'm one of them people like, my whole career before I became a professional DJ, because I just loved music. I could always predict just like artists that were going to be big, artists that were going to blow. And I would tell people, oh, this artist is going to be big, and people were like, nah, they ain't got it, because they couldn't hear it. And years down the line, they'd blow, be the next big thing. Like I could sit here and say a list of names, but I'm not going to choke my I'm not going to big myself up like that. But, I remember going to an event and I saw a load of DJs that, the artists that knew me from before their careers, before they blew. And, it kind of dawned on me about how much, just how this was everyone's got a gift. You've got a gift in what you do in your sports, in your music. This was the gift that I had, was able to pick out the market of people and, who were the next talent. So, I know what I'm talking about. And you know, I've interviewed loads of people. I know what I'm talking about. And yeah, I heard your track, and I was just like, yo, this is a pop. This is an artist that's got style. Do you know what I mean? It's got, you know, I think what we lack in today's generation with music is authenticity. You know, there's a lot of artists out there. You know, it's very few artists that come out and be themselves. Like there's a lot, there is a lot out there, don't get me wrong, but there's also a huge amount that are trying to, you know, mimic their inspirations.
Yep.
So when I saw you, I was just like, wow, this is an artist. I just see star quality. So that's how I messed with you. That's how I messed you, and that's how I got your vibe.
Oh, listen, I genuinely and sincerely appreciate that. Like, you don't even understand me. I don't feel like I've been chasing it that long. When I hear when I hear interviews about other artists, and they're like, yeah, it's been 10 years. I'm like, 10 years. Oh my gosh. Yeah. But to hear that, you know, for somebody of your caliber is like just making my day. I'm floating on cloud nine right now. And crazy thing about the record that you like so much, I was actually back home. So I was in Memphis, and the guy, shout out to the producer. His name is Memphis Track Boy. He is one of the top producers in Memphis. And he so happens to live like right near my mom. So I looked at the studio and I was like, wow, let me go, you know, just run by the studio, tell him, hey, or whatever. And we played some of my music. He was like, let me hear, you know, let me hear your style. And it's hard for me to let people hear my style because I don't feel like I'm in one lane. But I gave him he was like, well, tell me what you're looking for. And I was like, well, I want that Memphis sound. I want that, you know, that hard hitting. He was like, okay. He went in the room, and I just continued to talk to my friend. We was just kicking it. He started, you know, making a beat. And I'm like, man, I walked in the room. I said, this beat is hard. Who is this for? He's like, this for you. Right. I said, look at God. What you do it? Listen, right then and there. I said, hold up. We hopped in the booth and did Big Bags. And I think it turned out amazing. It was everything that I thought it would be. And I'm not going to lie. My music process is so strange sometimes, but it's just like magic when it happens, when it all comes together, how I envision things in because sometimes I write songs with no beat. I figured out that was a harder way to come up with a song that is very tough. But sometimes I go to a person. I know I was working with this guy named Double A. He's a super dope producer too. He's also an artist now. But one of my first songs I came to him with, and I was like, hey, I got this song. Like I said, without a beat. So I was just telling him how it go. Hey, it goes like this. Would you like to hear a reference? And he was like, no, I got it. Because I told him I wanted that kind of Detroit feel. Like, I feel like it's easier when you give people an area that's all like, you know, when I say Detroit, you kind of know what sound you're going to get. Make the beat in 5 minutes. And that's what my song, you should check it out. It's called Family Matters. I love Family Matters. It's one of my super, super dope songs. I feel if you like Big Bags, I feel like you'll mess with Family Matters too.
Okay. Okay, so your message, you know, it's kind of funny you talk about Memphis because, you know, there is a lot of talent coming out of Memphis. And I think it's one of these cities out in the States that is very like, there's a whole lot of hidden gems down here. And particularly females, there is particularly a lot of talented females down there, which I have to say, you know, some new females down there killing it. Well, you know, it sounds to me that, you know, Memphis is like a real, how can I put it, a real rooted town. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like, it's real life. You know, it's not Hollywood. It's not Hollywood. So like, I mean, so, you know, when you grow up in environments, let's say like Hollywood, environments like London, like we got out in the UK, it's full of a whole lot of fakeness. And fakeness comes, you know, model coddled and the rest of it. So you don't develop thick skin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? So when you grow up in the town where, you know, you have to actually work you have to grind, hustle, you know what I mean, to get what you want in life. You know, the only option to survive is to get thick-skinned.
Is to get thick-skinned, is to push through it. Like, that's why I'm saying, like, as an adult, it has taught me. So looking back on it, you like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get out of here. But when you really pay attention to all the values that you gain from being in a place, from really being in a place that kind of taught you some things. And like you said, it's really rooted. Like it's a lot of Black history in Memphis. People come from all over the world to see the Lorraine Motel and the Black history museums that we have, the Slave Haven. Like there's a lot of different places. Slave Haven is one of the places where they used to be on the Underground Railroad, where they used to go and hide the slaves. So they kind of let you go and see the little compartments that they were in and stuff. And I mean, the barbecue alone, Blues and Barbecue, BB, okay? blues and barbecue alone is gonna make you fall in love with Memphis. I mean, not too many people haven't fallen in love with it. So I mean, that's my city. I love my city.
Excited. Well, I'm actually set to hit the States after Christmas, so long as this whole pandemic thing doesn't mess up my travel arrangements. You know, because it's a bit tricky, but I'm actually set out there. I've got business out there. I believe Memphis is one of the cities I'm set to hit, but I've got to speak to my guy first to confirm all the states that I'm going to. But so I'm looking forward to, you know, embracing your culture out there and seeing what it brings. So
listen, you gotta let me know when you're in Memphis. Hopefully we're in Memphis at the same time. If not, definitely let me know when you're in Atlanta.
You know what? I'm definitely going to be in Atlanta. That's for sure. I'm definitely going to be in Atlanta. So I'm going to be all over the place. So it's going to, you know what? I mean, I might have to extend my stay. I don't know, because everyone's like, hit me up. And it's like, oh man, it's like nobody wants me to go home. But so I'm looking forward to it. But so tell me now, you've got your projects that coming out. You got your single, your music video. And you took thinking obviously strategically about your music and all the rest of it. So what is like the goal then, would you say, for 22 in terms of trying to get your brand out there and establishment? Because obviously you're an established athlete. So now it's like, okay, now we need to transition of, I'm not just an athlete, I'm also an artist. So
there you go.
Well, what's like the goal? Is it to really like push this whole, obviously the visuals, no doubt you want to push, but obviously I'm aware that you have mixed with the coalitions. You have done networking with the coalitions, right? So no doubt, you know, you've got the backup of some good DJs out there spinning your joints.
Definitely. I think my two biggest goals for getting out there is one, performing more. Well, I guess it would be three: performing more, doing more interviews, and actually releasing a project. I definitely want to release a project, if not two. I have enough songs, way more than enough songs in my catalog to do so. But like I said, this year is more so going to be about strategy. Like I want to have a solid plan and execute it as much as I can. Look at me, I sound like an athlete. That is the athlete. That's the coach in me. Yo, execution.
Now, like, do you know what? You always have to come with a game plan. I always say that. Always come with a game plan. And anything that you have to have a game plan. I built my career through having a game plan. Don't get me wrong. Did it go the way I wanted it to? I achieved not at all. I achieved the things I wanted to achieve, but I had to put a plan in place. And certain avenues and experiences takes you through certain things. So you think you're going through this door, but you might have to go through the back door. You know what I'm saying?
Come on now, or the side.
Other side, you know this, through the window. You know this, you know this. So I love your energy. I gotta say, I really do. I'm vibing off it.
Look, we don't have a ball. We need to kick it outside of the interview.
100. Musically then. So obviously you're talking about, you don't just rap, you sing then. Mm-hmm. So what kind of music we talking? We got laser R&B vibe. I don't know, pop vibe, maybe country. I don't know.
Okay, I haven't tapped into country. I feel like I'm versatile enough too. I'm allowing my creative journey to take me how it takes me, and I just haven't gotten to country yet. But I'm more of a pop R&B artist, R&B first, because my one of my first love is R&B. Like I am definitely, they got me through some tough times. But definitely pop. I think pop is fun, and I like to have fun sometimes in my music. Sometimes it's not always about. I don't want to hand bitches tissue all the time. It ain't about sobbing over a relationship. Sometimes I want to turn up. You know what I'm saying? So I do like the pop world. For real.
No, I feel you. Do you have like inspirational artists that you kind of look up to at all? Is there anyone that you look up to, like you think, oh my God, this person?
You know what? I feel like when people hear my inspiration, they will probably hear why it's so hard for me to just solidify. Because I know sometimes people ask me, well, who would you go on a tour with? And it's like, man, I can go on a tour with a lot of people. But I love genuinely Missy Elliott. I mean, anybody from my city, obviously. But I love Missy Elliott and you'll notice that some of the artists that I choose, they push the envelope on when it comes to creativity and when it comes to being ahead of their time and forward thinking. Like sometimes in the moment, it's like, oh my God, this is so weird. Like Missy Elliott would do the thing with her neck and she had the big bubble suits. And it was every video you just knew you were about to get some wow factors in Missy Elliott. And I just loved that growing up. Outkast, I think they are amazing. Love Andre. Love me an Andre verse. I definitely love Nicki and the big three, Nicki, Wayne, and Drake. Love me some Wayne. Listen, love. Who doesn't love Beyonce and Adele and Jasmine Sullivan? Like when it comes to R&B and kind of soulish, I love me Jasmine Sullivan. Tear some stuff up, okay? So that's where I'm at with it. Like I love me some R&B. I love me some hip hop. Those are kind of the people. Oh, love me some Teyana Taylor. We're super close in age, but I think she's amazing. I think she comes to shut shit down, and that's the vibe that Teyana Taylor gives off is more closely kind of related to the vibe that I want to get. She's the tomboy sexy, you know what I'm saying? She has women wanting her, men wanting her. That's the kind of vibe that I would love to give off, you know? Yeah.
I like it. No, I love me some Teyana Taylor too. Definitely some Teyana Taylor for sure. And so what you're saying about the futuristic of these artists, you know, like you say, Missy Elliott, you were singing something futuristic. I think it's important. I think in the game, is not to be afraid to experiment. I think that's what some people get so afraid of. You know, when you do something that nobody else is doing, you're doing it for the first time. So all you've got is your vision.
Right. There's no blueprint.
There's no blueprint. So it's so hard. You know, I remember when I was doing certain things in my career as a DJ that no one was really doing out here. And I found it difficult. I was doing it, but I found it difficult. Certain people that really supported me were like, you know what, keep doing it. It's going to pay off. But I was like, yeah, but there's nobody doing it. Why? Yeah. And I'm thinking it's that simple. But if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. And this is the thing. And you know, I learned about longevity. And you know, I was doing my before I started really connecting out in the States as a DJ. It was I got a shout out to my brother Snipes out in the States who really made me realize about my what I was doing out here, because he saw my work out here in the UK and he was like, Astonish, man, you're doing something. It's obviously we're living in a very different times. Obviously, we've had the COVID pandemic, all the rest of it. And obviously, the world came to a standstill and all the rest of it. Clubs were shut down and everything. So there was so much limited opportunities that I could do. You know, radio stations weren't allowing guests in for the interviews. And I was like, okay, I'm going to jump on this whole Zoom thing. And I'm going to really start connecting with a lot more state artists and bringing them out here in the UK. And I didn't, you know, to just kind of, you know, get to know them more. And nobody was really doing it to the level I was doing out here in the UK in terms of coaching me, executing these interviews out here. And he was just like, no, you know what, Astonish, you got a niche market right now because, you know, no one's really doing it like you out here. And I'm thinking, well, why isn't nobody doing it out here? Like, you know, why isn't nobody? But it's one of them things is like, when you create something that's futuristic and eventually it's seeing a market that is, how can I put it? What's the word? Some things, you know, when you see people achieve certain things and you think, how come nobody did that before? It was so simple. But I learned that simplicity is a complex form. To do something that is so simple can become very difficult because sometimes you have to think out the box. Sometimes people are so, how can I put it, conditioned into seeing what they see. They don't think out the box. So it comes back to what I'm saying is being creative. You have to think out the box. You have to really, and be very comfortable in your own skin. Now, I definitely, go on.
What were you about to say?
I was going to say, you definitely seem like somebody that's comfortable in your own skin.
Listen, when I tell you thinking outside the box is like what I do, I think that's, you know how God just gifts certain things to certain people. I can definitely say he gives me a lot of things, but that ability to the way that my mind works when it comes to creativity and marketing, it works so well that my mom suggests all the time, you should probably make this a business, because a person can come to me with a simple idea and I could turn it into a mountain that fast. And that's just how fast my mind works. So when it comes to anything that I do, of course, I'm definitely going to put super creative spins on it. I don't like to be like anybody else. And to be honest, when I play back my life and I'm always analyzing myself, because I always want to be the best version of myself I could be. But sometimes you have to analyze your mistakes and things, or some things you did right. So, but just looking at my life and my pattern, I've always tried to be so different. The way that I used to wear my hair, I would have mohawks with spray paint, my basketball number spray paint in the side, and my name. It was just this. I always wanted to just stand out. I've never really been the person that if the crowd is going left, I'm gonna say, hold on, let me see what's going on over here. I've never really been the whole follower kind of person. I'm not a devil's advocate. I'm not just gonna go right because everybody's going left. It's just I'm just not a follower like that. So I enjoy individuals who exude that. Like you can kind of just tell people who just embody those kind of characteristics, like the Missy Elliott, like she was herself. Like, and it's so crazy because she did an interview and she said that I think she was going through like depression during that time because of what you're saying. She got so much backlash and criticism. For real.
No, I feel you. Literally, do you know what? You're really touching on a subject here because I can so relate. And I think this is really the interesting thing about creativity and all that, because, you know, when I was in my breakthrough stages as a DJ, I was having my big, I had my first international, nationwide breakthrough as a DJ out here in the UK. And everybody, you know, is jumping, oh my God, well done. You know, they're this overwhelming. They were loving what I was doing as a DJ out here. And, you know, through it all, I was battling myself. People didn't, you know, people see this happy person out here. But I think when you're different, when you're creativity, you have so much vision, you have so much expectations, not from other people, but the expectations that you have for yourself. And people, you know what I'm saying? So you put this unnecessarily, I mean, thankfully, I'm at a point in my career now, I'm just doing me. I'm very content where I'm at. It took me a long time to get here, don't get me wrong. People don't see the antidepressants that I could become. You know, I'm switched on one day, and the next day I'm just oh, what's it all for? I give up. You feel me, girl? You feel me?
Yes.
And I feel people who are very creative, who are very different, have to go through this roller coaster, because the thing about being different is that, you do not, I mean, let's face it, I always say this, nobody fits in anywhere. That's the reality of it. A society is what accommodates us for so-called fitting in. Right. But until you learn to actually find what fits and suits you and what fits for you and what's right for you, your environment, your energy, that's when you start finding the contentment and start to understand, you know what, I'm comfortable in my skin and nothing can affect me, which kind of comes down to what you're saying about being thick-skinned and all the rest of it. You know, these are the key things that you have to be developed to be like this. I don't want to be disrespectful or anything, but I just keep it real how I say it. And you end up like someone who, like Summer Walker, who gets a lot of bad press through her personal battles. You know what I'm saying?
No, facts.
So, yeah. I'll rest my case, Your Honor. But no, you know what I'm saying? You know where I'm coming from, Gail. You know where I'm coming from. And I think that, I think as well, especially in the media, when you're people in a public figure, people who are what we call the everyday people, the sheep of the world, who look at their, they'll see someone who is in a role model and who does something that is deemed as not acceptable or whatever. And they forget that they're still human. They forget that, they look at them like the product, because essentially what you have created a product, you've created a brand. So then people distinguish you from being this, they get starstruck to actually forgetting that you're still human. You still have the feelings, you still have the same vibe as everybody else.
You still bleed like they bleed, you still breathe like they breathe. Listen, I'm not gonna even lie. Like you said, when you're a creative, your expectations for yourself, your bar is set so high, it almost pushes you to a point of being a perfectionist. It's just like everything has to be so. Listen, I'm not gonna lie, I damn near put myself in the hospital planning my listening event because I had so much stress on me from trying to plan every single intricate detail, because I wanted things not necessarily how I wanted things, but you want them to be the best that they could be. So but it definitely makes you feel like the eyeball out a lot of times, especially like I said, when you're coming in the game. Now I feel like there's a lot more girls sprinkling in that can really sing and really rap. But when I was first really getting into this and looking around, it really wasn't. And the only person I could really relate back to was Lauryn Hill, and it had been almost 20 years. So it was just like, well, who's gonna do it? So I'm not gonna lie, I did have that battle with myself when I first started really pursuing this of, dang, should I rap or should I sing? Should I pick one or the other? And that's really how the Miss Tenn thing was really born, because I had to be real with myself and tell myself, I want to do both. That's what I want to do. That's what makes me happy. So why can't I? Who's stopping me? Nobody's stopping me. Just because people aren't doing it doesn't mean there isn't a lane for it. You know, maybe I need to be that person that pioneered that lane, like Nicki and a lot of other people were pioneering the rap game. You know, I mean, now look at the door for women to slide through in the industry. Like, that door used to be slim. It used to be real slim. Now it's like the women are killing the game across the board. When you're talking about hip hop, pop, R&B, dominating.
They are dominating it for real. Tell me about the naysayers that you experience, because there's no doubt you experience naysayers.
I feel like subconsciously a lot of us, and by us I mean Black people, a lot of us do it to ourselves, and a lot of it stems back. I'm not trying to get too deep on you, but you know,
you get deep on me, girl.
It stems back from even as far back as racism and colorism and what it has done to our community. Like, we still are on that merry-go-round of colorism. And one thing that I really not necessarily going to say try not to battle, but it's that whole colorism thing in the industry. Like, this girl doesn't get, she's amazing artist. She has a total package. She's just dark skinned. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's one of the things that's one of the challenges that women really face in the industry, not just music wise, entertainment across the board. When you're talking about actors, when you're talking about models, it's always that whole dark skin, light skin thing. You get to the club and, this artist won't allow dark skinned women in his section. So it makes you feel a type of way as a dark skin or brown skin or even just a Black woman. It's just like, damn, like it's almost 2022. We still on this. What just because I'm dark skinned doesn't make me you pretty for a dark skinned girl. It's just so many little things that we say and that we drop in the spirits of little Black girls that they grow up. Now they grow up feeling a type of way about their own selves because of the things that they've had to see on TV. When there's no representation of dark skinned women in certain areas, when the probably number one artist in the world is always light skinned, it's just like, well, maybe that's not a position that I can step into because it's only for this type of person. It's just that's one huge stigma that I feel like women face in our lane. Men don't get that same thing. Listen, light skin, dark skin, it don't matter. It don't matter with men. Like, women love light skin, women love chocolate.
And I think that comes down as well to the fact that, you know, come back to what I'm saying about being a product. You know, I'm going to be real with you, not to get too deep. but you know, I keep it real. I like to keep it real, and I like the fact that you like to keep it real too. Is that, you know, women are seen as objects. Like, I come back to the same question. Our mothers are women. So when we're going to degrade a woman and be like, oh, you know, and look at her like a piece of meat or whatever, or like she's an object, would you look at your mother like that? Would you have somebody speak like your mother like that? And I think it's something that really is frustrating in women, because I think for so long it's been a man's world, a domineering world, and women have to work. Like, again, Black women particularly have to work twice as hard because they have all these other things. I mean, Black men, yeah, they have their own battles in a certain sense, but, you know, for a woman to do it, it's twice as hard.
It's this question, two things they'll ask you, and I get this across the board. Do you have kids? Are you in a relationship? Listen, and it's just like, damn, but they don't ask men that, because who do they think that 9 times out of 10 is home with the children? Women. So, I mean, which a lot of times does happen, but it's just like you said, there's so many things and so many sacrifices that we have to take. It's like, man, well, if I can't have kids, how long do I have to hold out, you know what I'm saying, for this dream of mine? Because people are going to work with me and that's like, who, as a woman, who doesn't want to, you know, experience that? Who doesn't want to experience kids? I mean, some women don't get me wrong, but who are you as a man to tell? And most of the time it's men that are making these rules for women. I mean, I didn't know they had vaginas all of a sudden, but hey, they want to, I'm just saying, shit. They want to make the rules for us. Like, how dare you make a rule for a body that you know nothing about? You don't feel how we feel. You know what I'm saying? So look at us getting deep.
And
I thought this was about music.
Yeah, it was about music. But you know what? It's great because I'm getting a vibe, and I think this is interesting. It comes down to your creativity, your craft, and what you're really all about. I think it's fair to say you ain't shy to share your truth. And no, and I think that's what's going to be, I think that's what's going to bring the vibe. Hence why I come down to the new joint, which is, I'm really interested in seeing the visuals and seeing what brings, because there's no doubt, obviously you're an athlete. So, this nice, strong, physical, great body that you got. There's no doubt that we're going to see not just a artist who's making great records, but a performer.
Listen, you know what? Just for you, I will send you both of those videos. I'm going to send you Freaky because I need you to watch it in that order.
Okay. It's a done deal.
Freaky and
It's a done deal.
It's a done deal. I'm going to send you both videos. I need you to watch Freaky first, and then I need you to watch Big Bags, because you'll see why when you watch them back to back. It really seems like it gives you that sequel kind of feel. But yeah, I'm gonna do that just for you, so you can see. You don't even have to wonder. You don't have to wonder. You ain't gotta wait. You got that access. You got that access.
Yeah, I want to see who's this girl is about to take over the scene. That's what I want to see. Right. I want to see the source that's coming. You know what I mean? I think, you know what I just love? Why I particularly love like in female artists. And, I started doing it on my show out here in the UK. It was actually Beer I had on my show was one of the first ones that I was doing. I really started doing a segment. Yeah. When I really started to wanted to elevate a lot of female rappers, particularly, just female artists. I'm not going to let's remove the word rappers and just, it's just that these women do it all, and, they're killing it on the rap scene. But like, I feel that with these women, how they do it, I think that with black music, our music is struggle anyway. Our music's soul, it's truth, it's suppression, all the rest of it. When I see how women do it in the game, it's a whole different level to the men. Because, we've seen men dominate hip hop for how long, R&B for how long, we've done it. We've only ever seen females, a selective few over the years. And I think for now we're at a point in the industry, like you say, we're seeing so many different people coming through. And I think what's great about the women and why they're killing the industry is they're bringing their truth. They're bringing their individuality. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? And I think that's why it's so powerful in the music game right now. And with yourself, like I said.
Go on, girl. No, what you're saying is correct. And I feel like in hip hop, especially in hip hop, I feel like a lot of male artists are typically referring to the same things these days, and people are kind of getting tired of niggas spinning the block. There's only so many blocks you can spin. Absolutely. So it leaves a lot of room for some new artists with some fresh ideas and some fresh stuff to talk about that, like you said, have been through some different things in life, to kind of put that out there and be a little bit more relatable, because there's a lot more to life. Absolutely. So for real, absolutely. I think that's so true. And, I think as a male myself, I love hearing it from a woman's perspective. Tell me about your legacy and what it is that you would like more than anything to leave in this game. Like, what is it that you want people to take from your music? To be honest, kind of those same attributes that I was telling you that I looked up to and looked into with those artists that I was kind of inspired by. And that's somebody that kind of pushed the boundaries, and I was never afraid to be who I was and take risks and step outside the box and create avenues that may not have been there at first. Like, it's okay to take risks. I want to be that kind of person. And I also want to leave timeless music. I feel like, a lot of that isn't really happening anymore. You have these songs that are hits. Don't get it twisted. They make the charts. They may go diamond even. But is somebody going to really listen to it 10, 15, 30 years from now? We're still listening to the Van Drosses and a lot of the artists from way back in the day. So I want to be timeless. I want kids, generations from now, to know who I am. So that's what I want. Do you think with the music now, because like the turnover is quick with music now, do you know what I'm saying? Like we're on online streams now, like everyone's banging out singles, music videos. So keeping up with that consistency now, it's super hard, because it's so easy to make a video and it be forgotten with. People on to the next thing and they're talking about the next thing. Like as a DJ, go on.
Go on.
I think what you mentioned before was super important, and that was of being fresh and being new. Because the turnover rate is so high and there's so many people, it's almost feeling oversaturated. People are only going to stick to those things that stand out, that stick out, and that are different from everybody else that's over here in this lane, kind of doing the same thing. Yes, it's a different face, it's a different body, but it's the same kind of thing. So absolutely.
Well, you know what? I'm looking forward to seeing what 22 is going to bring with you. There's no doubt that I'm going to expect consistency, right?
Definitely. Like I said, I have way more than enough work to put it out there consistently. So that's the new thing for me, consistency, getting into more shows and finally putting a project out there.
Sweet. What's the response been like so far in the shows that you have done?
You know what? Like I said, I keep saying I haven't ran into too many, but I haven't really ran into anybody that doesn't like me as an artist, doesn't like my sound, doesn't like the look, the total package that it comes with. It's every time I do a show, every time I do an event, whatever the case would be, I always leave with my network being a little bit bigger than what it was. So I feel like, that's always the end goal, because your network is your network. So
absolutely.
I'm just looking to kind of keep people on board too that can be consistent in my career, you know? I think those things are dope.
You know, one thing I get from your vibe, I feel like you're definitely a boss lady in her own right. I mean, like, you know how you want it done, and you know how you want to execute it, right? So where does that? I'm not too far off wrong there, am I?
No.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that really came from sports. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, it really shaped a lot of who I am, and almost every team that I've ever played on, I've always been a leader. I've always been the captain. I've always been the go-to person. I've learned how to lead by example. I've learned how to be a vocal leader, because there are several different types of leaders. Everybody leads in different ways. So I've learned how to be a people person, which I understood that, hey, people are individuals, which means this person may not be able to be talked to like this person. In order to bring a different quality out of this person, you can't say the same thing. You got to put them in a different. I learned a lot with sports. So it kind of really molded me into this person that kind of knows what I want and know how to not necessarily get stuff out of people, but bring the best out of people, bring the qualities out of people that I kind of need out of them.
So how would it come to you then? I just out of curiosity then. So a record deal, right? Obviously, a record deal comes and approaches you. What's going to be your thing? Because there's no doubt, you want full artistry control, creative control. I can't see you giving that up.
Okay, so this is the thing. I wouldn't mind giving up some of that control to somebody, to people, individuals that were on the same page as me, creative.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I am a super, super creative person, and there are some things I'm like, I kind of really want it this way. Now, I am also coachable. I know how to be a team player. Team player. I feel like in order to be a good leader, you also have to know how to follow. So I don't mind, putting myself in a position where somebody else is taking the reins and kind of leading that thing out, because I'm not a know-it-all, especially in this industry. I'm really a sponge right now, and I'm soaking up as much knowledge, as much information as I can. Like, I know that not everything I'm doing is quote unquote the right way. So I'm eager to learn. I'm eager for people to step in and kind of show me the way.
Well, Miss Tenn, I gotta say, I love your energy. I love your drive. I love I love the energy. I love the drive. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what your next chapter is gonna bring to this game. And I really salute you taking the time out to touch down with me. It's a great honor. So we're gonna definitely stay tapped in. I'm definitely going to support you. So to hit me up when you got the next bar or whatever. You're my DMs now. You made the connection. So anything I can do on my end, I've got you, girl.
Okay.
And it's been
I appreciate you.
I don't mean to stop, but this my real body, real ass. Got these fake hoes real mad, cause we really popping them tags, ho. B-A-double-G, I get big mad.